pretty. Yeah, we're neat and pretty. Do it. Only a few more days to hear that voice, huh? Well, we're going to miss that one. We'll talk more about Vinny in a few minutes. Hi, everybody. I'm Randy Tibbins. You know who you are. Come on in, pull up a chair, sit down, relax, and let's talk Dodgers. This is the best, this is the first, and this is the only video podcast by fans, for fans of your Los Angeles Dodgers. And that's why we're here. September 23rd. It's Friday. I said it's Friday. Thank you. Thank you very much. It is Friday. We're going to have some fun today. We're going to hear some home runs. We're going to hear some more fun stuff. We're going to talk about fun stuff. Talk about stats of the day, Dayton Dodger history, and more. So, it's a Flashback Friday, too. That's when we show an old baseball card or replica of. So this should be a fun show. All right, let's get you caught up with what's going on in case you missed it yesterday. Yasmani Grandal homered twice. You'll hear those in a few minutes, including a granny in the 7th inning to rally the Los Angeles Dodgers past the Colorado Rockies 7-4 on Thursday night. Magic number is now 4. That's Duke Snider's old number, and I put a few others on the Facebook page if you want to see them. And without further ado, let's listen to, first we're going to listen to Grandal's night. The guy went 4 for 4. We have an amazing stat about the guy, so let's talk about Yasmani Grandal. Here's his first, we'll hear his whole night, then we'll hear that grand slam again. Here's his whole night. You ready for this? Goes by quick.
High fly ball to left field and deep over the wall, home run. And ground ball that's going to find the hole. It's a high fly ball down the left field line. Tough spot. Ball going over and Grant backhand it. And the Dodgers have runners at second and third.
Fly ball, center field, well hit, and it is a grand slam home run. 4 for 4, 5 runs batted in.
And let's hear Vinny's call of that granny, shall we? Oh, man, that's unbelievable. Anyway, we'll have a stat about Grandal and his night in just a few minutes. Injury report and moves. Well, you saw it last night. Brett Anderson came off the DL to start. He pitched 5 innings. He gave up 4 runs. Not so killing. And the tryout was really for his postseason to see if he's going to be in the rotation. I don't know if I'd put him in the rotation. He's not one of the top 3 guys, but he might be a long man. He might be a guy to start a 5th game of a 7-game series. I don't know. Whatever they're going to do. At least he's shown he's back and he can pitch. What you do with him next? I don't know. Trade bait in the offseason? Who knows? Most of the thoughts around the league was he was okay at best for first time out. The bullpen followed with 4 scoreless innings. Luis Avilan credited with the win, and Kenley Jansen got his 46th save. That's a lot of saves, Kenley. All right. Anybody ready for some fun stuff? Let's do some fun stuff. Whenever I do that, means fun stuff. It's crappy Mike Day. It's crappy hair day. It's a crappy day. No, it's a good day. We're sitting in the driver's seat. Dodgers are 6 games up on it with 4. 4 is the magic number. Anybody see that sick play that Chase Utley made? We're not going to show it to you here, but we can play it for you. Check this out. Both announcers calling this play. You'll love this.
Fastball punched on the ground. Utley kicks it. Still plenty of time. Wow! Utley sprawled in the dirt, flipped it back, and accurately to Gonzalez for an out. Oh, what a play.
And a ground ball. He's bobbled by Utley and somehow makes the play. Oh, you got to see this. You've never seen anything like that one before. Oh, Chase Utley.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. Speaking of Chase Utley, and by the way, we put that play, the video of it, up on our Facebook page. So if you haven't seen it, go check it out. Speaking of Chase Utley, the Dodgers announced last night that Chase Utley had been named the 2016 Roy Campanella Award winner. Joni Campanella Rowan, Campanella's daughter, will present the award to Utley before Saturday's game. The award is given to the player who best exemplifies the spirit and the leadership of the 3-time MVP and Hall of Fame inductee. Dodger players and coaching staff are the voters of this award, so it's his peers that give it to him. Chase Utley has scored 74 runs, has hit 25 doubles, 12 home runs this season, made a boatload of cool plays in the outfield or in the infield, and he started 112 games at second base and has primarily batted in the leadoff spot. So the guy has been really amazing this year, and we see why he was such a great player and possible Hall of Famer when he was with Philadelphia. Guy's just an outstanding gamer player. We have our shout-outs, so let's do some shout-outs right away, huh? Yeah, that's always a fun thing to do. Shout-outs today include, let's see, a bunch of people checked in with us on our Facebook page. You can do the same. Just look for Let's Talk Dodgers. Warren, Greg, Cheryl C., my buddy, Anthony, Barbara, Antoinette, Louie, Frank, and Ruben. One more shout-out to our seat buddy from earlier this week, Regina. She hasn't checked in yet. Neither has her family from Sylmar. And let's do a big fat shout-out to John, Joanna, and the gang at Fluky's in Woodland Hills. They actually carry Sportsnet LA. And by the way, check out their Facebook page as well, Fluky's Deli or Fluky's Woodland Hills. Stats of the day. We've been talking about Yasmani Grandal. The guy was on fire. All he did was this last night. He went 4 for 4, had 2 homers, 5 RBIs in that big win last night. And it's not the first time this season that Grandal's had a big game like that at Dodger Stadium. He went 5 for 5 with 3 homers, 6 RBIs on July 8th against the Padres at Dodger Stadium. But the stat of the day is this. Only 2 other Dodger players have had 4 for 4 or better nights with at least 2 homers and 5 RBIs at Dodger Stadium. You know who they are? In 1977, Steve Garvey did that, and in 2014, Hanley Ramirez did that. And last night, you saw it again from Yasmani Grandal. Wow. Mind-boggling stuff. And you know what? Extra shout-out to David C. He was there and got to see that game last night. Way to go, David. And my buddy Todd. Okay, Todd T. He was there also last night. Very cool. All right, this date in Dodger history, today is the 23rd of September, as I mentioned. And have we got 2 or 1 of them? We got 1 with a flashback. You ready? All right. September 23rd, 1978, just moments after his third base coach asks him to hit one for the coach in the hospital following a brain hemorrhage. It's a little confusing at first. Lee Lacy smacks a dramatic pinch hit home run that lifts the Dodgers to a 5-3 victory over the Padres and a share of the division title, 1978. Called in to hit for starting pitcher Bert Hooton in the 7th inning, Lacy had been kneeling in the on-deck circle when his third base coach, Preston Gomez, walked up to him and shook his hand. They don't know why. And he says, quote, "I told Preston I'd do my best." Oh, he said, "Hit one over the wall for Junior," Gomez told Lacy, referring to Gilliam, who was in a coma and fighting for his life at that time in this date, September of 78. He says, quote, "I told Preston I'd do my best," said Lacy, who didn't initially understand why Gomez had shaken his hand. Lacy hit the first pitch from reliever Raleigh Fingers into the left field pavilion, capping a 4-run rally. The following day, the Dodgers defeated the Padres 4-0 to win the division title outright. Sadly, Jim Gilliam would die from the hemorrhage. The Dodgers would wear a patch on their sleeve for number 19 for the entire postseason and on through the World Series. And I remember that quite vividly. If you ever look at any Dodger pictures from the 78 World Series, they got a number 19 patch. That's who it was for, Jim Gilliam. So it happened on this date in September of 1978. And our Flashback Friday baseball card, who else? Lee Lacy. And there's a card from Topps. I believe it's 77, but that's about the era. And he played for the Blue for quite a few years. Pretty good player, too. That's our Flashback Friday on Let's Talk Dodgers and this date in Dodger history. Let's get you out to the ballpark. Let's see, what else we got? We got some fun stuff at the end of this, too. Let's get you out to the ballpark for this rest of this series. Friday, September 23rd, it's a 7-10er tonight, so don't miss it. Colorado right-hander John Gray, he's 10-8 with a 4.42 ERA. We can beat these guys. Come on, even the good guys we can beat from the Rockies. They don't have a bullpen. They don't have a whole lineup like the Cubs or anybody like that. And we can beat the Cubs. Going up against another auditioner here, left-hander Scott Kazmir is 10-6 with a 4.59 ERA, but Kazmir starts for the first time since August 22nd after missing 28 games on the DL with neck inflammation. Ouch. He's 4-6 with a 4.11 ERA and 13 home starts this year. So we got to keep an eye on Scott Kazmir. That's okay. We got the whole bullpen behind him. These guys are great. So that's tonight's game. Saturday, September 24th is a 6:10 game out at the Ravine. By the way, tonight, Vin Scully night. Tomorrow night, I think they're giving away the brass coin. Is that the deal? Anyway, Colorado right-hander Chad Bettis goes tomorrow. He's 13-7 with a 4.79 ERA against our extremely cool veteran who missed a lot of games himself this year. But left-hander Clayton Kershaw goes Saturday night. He's 11-3 with a 1.73 ERA, minuscule ERA. I wonder who's going to win that one. I think Clayton is. I hope. And then Sunday, September 25th, it's a 1:10 game. It's going to be left-hander Tyler Anderson, who's 5-6 with a 3.58. We're going to tee off on these guys. And the Dodgers have not formally announced who they're going to pitch on Sunday. However, ESPN says it might be Rich Hill. I hope so. That'd be kind of cool to see Rich Hill and Vinny's final game at Dodger Stadium in his career. It's a sad day. I know we thought those of us old enough thought we'd never see the end of that. But this is going to be the end for Vinny, this weekend series, Dodger Stadium. He is going to broadcast again after the Dodgers go to San Diego, and then they go up to San Francisco. He's going to take the last 3 games on TV, which will be on Channel 5, by the way. But to let you go for the week and the weekend, I thought I'd set you up. All week we've been playing some Vin Scully clips, because we got some of the coolest ones around, not just home run calls and weird plays that everybody knows. We got some cool stuff, too. Here's a real neat one. When he was on the Roy Firestone show sometime in the 80s on ESPN, and he asked him this question. Check out this cool story from the master himself.
You got a quick story, though, that synopsis of Jackie Robinson.
Well, the story has to do with our business, broadcasting play-by-play. Jackie was involved in the last out of a game at Ebbets Field, and he was called out. The Dodgers lost the game. And Jackie was out, but Jackie thought he was safe. And Jackie went in the clubhouse, and I mean, he was tearing up the clubhouse, hurling equipment, slamming the metal locker doors. Now, at the far end of the clubhouse in Ebbets Field was a black pitcher named Dan Bankhead. And in those days, there was a definite pecking order. When you walked in the door of the clubhouse, the stars were right there. And then you started to get away from stardom, and by the back of the room where the Coke machine was, that was where Dan Bankhead was. Now, Dan didn't speak very often, but when he did speak, he had that habit of being right on the money. So Jackie was hollering and hollering and slamming, and all of a sudden, Bankhead, with reading glasses perched on the end of his nose and a towel across his loins, Bankhead said, "Robeson," which is the way he called him, Robeson. "Robeson." Jackie stopped like that. The room went quiet. And Bankhead said, and it's been my philosophy ever since, "You's not only wrong, you is loud wrong." And you know when I really thought about that? Well, we just talked about 1987, the ball that bounced into the bleachers. I was loud.
Loud and wrong.
And it's a dreadful place to be.
He's talking about one of the comments he made that was wrong one time on the air. Anyway, good story about Jackie Robinson and Vince Scully talking to Roy Firestone. Events and cool appearances and stuff like that. Check out John Suhu's outstanding photography at DodgersPhotog.mlblogs.com. Check out Dodger Insider John Weissman, Dodgers.mlblogs.com. It comes up. You'll see all the great writings he had about Vince Scully and all the other great things he's talked about this season on his blog. It's really great stuff. Thanks for watching Let's Talk Dodgers. Hope you all have a great weekend. I think, what else we got? Anything else? I think that's going to do it. So come on. Well, this is the last, final farewell for Vinny at Dodger Stadium. So thank you, Vince Scully. I had dreams all night about what I would say to him if I saw him again. I've met him 3 times. Maybe I'll tell you next week about that. But I'd love to do a whole show, nothing but stories to give to Vince Scully. Maybe I'll make a video and just send it to him so he doesn't have to read it all. I don't know. I'm thinking about that. Let me know what you think. You can write to us in 3 different ways. Write to us at Let's Talk Dodgers at gmail.com. Write to Let's Talk Dodgers right here on Facebook, or on YouTube, it's Let's Talk Dodgers 13. Or you can write to me on Twitter 2 different ways, at Let's Talk Dodgers or at Randy Trumpet. And I'll certainly write back to everybody. Thanks for coming by and watching the show again this week. Tell all your friends, Let's Talk Dodgers, the best, first, and only video podcast by fans, for fans of your Los Angeles Dodgers. I'm Randy. You know who you are. I'll see you next week. Let's go and beat the heck out of those Rockies, shall we? Come on, we got to clinch this thing. Magic number's 4. And stay tuned to the Facebook page all weekend, too. See you next week on Monday, everybody. Bye-bye.